Every Cat Studios. Let's do this, kitty. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Avacat Studios. I'm your host, Sir Stormchild, aka Jake, and this is my collection. This is technically not my collection. This is a movie recommended to me by my aunt. Cinema Paradiso. It's a final. Well, it's an Academy Award winner, best film for 1990 in the Oscars. It's about like an old man who like is taking care of this kid, I guess, and basically the kid grows up inside the cinema, and this old man is like tearing out all like the kissing scenes and like the love scenes in movies for some reason, and just kind of piecing them together, and then like the kid comes back years later, and then the magic of what happens and like the love of the theater. Um, as you know, I would love to go back to the theaters, but let's face it, I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't. Want. I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't want to sit with a bunch of weirdos. I'll sit with you weirdos, but hey, whatever. Carl, where's the picture? There it is. Uh, it just helps. It helps with me. It helps with you. That way, if you're clicking on this thing, you're like, oh, that's what he's talking about. Some other bullshit movie. Um, so I've never seen this before. Felipe Noiret, I'm guessing, is that how you pronounce that? I don't know, but it's 2 hours long, and let's get started. Let's see. That is an amazing title card. I love that so much. So it does start off like the tail end, kind of like it's probably going to bookend that way. So the dude's mom is calling. You don't know she is at the start, obviously, but as the dialogue progresses, and then I had to switch it over to not dubbed English. It's probably fine, but I'd rather when their mouths move in a different way. Yeah, just let me hear it in the original Italian, and then I'll figure out the context around that. Anyway, so she's calling her son, who hasn't seen her in like 30 years, and tells somebody trying to get him on the phone, like the other, I guess the nurse or something is like, no, you know he hasn't been back here in like 30 years. He's not gonna come back. He's like, no, I know him better than you do. So um and then it cuts to the man Salvatore, and I guess his girlfriend or wife or something is laying in bed, and she tells him like, hey, your mom called. She says she wants to come see you. Also, somebody died yesterday. Somebody named Alfredo. The funeral's tomorrow. And then she goes to sleep, and then like there's a thunderstorm going on outside. And I think it's cut back to the past where they're at a church and during mass. The preacher is holding up the blood of Christ and all that whatnot. And I think little Salvatore is like falling asleep over there in the corner. He's just like, and the preacher's like, ugh, this kid. How am I supposed to do my mass if you can't like stay awake? So far, pretty good. Okay, I'm starting to see how it pieces together a little bit. The father, the preacher, pastor. I don't remember how Catholicism works because whatever. He goes to the cinema and starts yelling at Alfredo, the projectionist, to like play the movie when like certain I guess lurid scenes. I mean, he's obviously heavily Catholic, so I get it. Um, and then that's the parts he tells him to cut out of the movie. Okay, I get. So far, yeah. Look at how happy that priest is, huh? Yeah, and the kid's behind him in the curtains. It's really funny. See, the kid's like back there, like watching them watch that, and then the projectionist is like marking out things to cut out. Um, so it's kind of like old school editing, like the projection, the film is still rolling, and he's like putting slips of paper in there to like cut out later. I guess for mass viewing, essentially. I don't know. Again, you don't have to watch any more of this, I guess, but like This is the movie. It's not like a wham bam. Oh my god, what happened? It's just so far it's a lovely fucking film. Go watch it. It's awesome. Look how much he's cut out of these dang movies, man. That's a lot of editing. And they're like in a big ass garbage can. He's like, I gotta put all these back when I return to film. Like, well, why are all these here in the trash? He's like, sometimes I can't figure out where to put them back. Anyway, they kiss too much. Get out of here, kid. You bother me. So unfortunately, my copy has like this like distortion on the actual DVD. I might have to buy her another one or something. I don't know. I didn't do it. That's how I got it, and I haven't watched it since or till and now. So it kind of jumps, and I gotta like back up or whatnot. And the next thing is like with the kid in school trying to tell one of his classmates the answer to what 5 times 5 is because they're doing that, and he's like pointing to a picture of a Christmas tree. He's like, dude, you know, this is the answer. So the teacher's like, hey, well, what's 5 times 5, you idiot? And kid's like, Christmas, because 5 times 5 is Christmas. You know what? I can't argue with that. Um, it's a shame that's kind of messed up though. Although I have a copy of Goodfellas that did the same thing. So yeah. Also, when they're playing movies, it comes out of this cool like lion's mouth. That should be in every theater. That's awesome. So everybody in town gathers around and has a what do you call it? Well, they're all there to watch the movie at the local cinema because it's clearly ain't nothing else going on. They're all like smoking cigarettes, even like the kids are smoking or whatever. And some people are just showing up like, "Hey, I'm here." And they're like, "Shut up!" I'm like, "What? What? Why you want me to shut up? I'm here to sleep anyway. What do I care?" And stuff like that. It's really funny. This movie's really funny. Um, and the kid spent all of his money to get in here and to get in there. And then his mother catches him when they go outside, and she starts hitting him because he spent the milk money to go see the movies. And then the old projectionist guy's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He got in there for free. Maybe like he said the money got stolen. Maybe he lost it. Hey, this guy like he was walking out with him was like, hey, what did you find in there? And then like he kind of like slips out like the projections like slips in the $50 out of all the items or whatever. He's like, see, here you go. And then this homeless guy pops up out of nowhere. It's like, it's midnight. The square is mine. Everybody get out, get out, get out. It starts like rushing and making everybody go away. And I think he's like collecting all the coins and whatnot. They're on the ground. He's like, no, the square is mine. The square is mine. Um, some of the movies that we're watching are like, like Charlie Chaplin. They're all like black and white movies. And they, because like they get to one of the kissing scenes and it cuts. And then like everybody's like, "Oh, come on! It's been 20 years and I still haven't. I've never seen a kiss in this theater." It's like, show me the whole movie. Come on. So like the fact that this DVD has like some glitches in it, like that, you know what? It kind of fits with the theme. It's a little weird, but I'm all for it. Um, and now we just went to this funeral. It was a very tiny casket, so it's probably a kid. So that's sad. Um, and yeah, it's wow. This movie's when I showed the picture of the lion, like immediately afterwards, like the it yawned and like growled or whatever. That was really cool. I didn't expect that. Uh, yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about this movie because there's so much to say. It's really fucking good. No wonder it won an Oscar. Let's see how it ends. When I'm where am I at? I have an hour and a half left. Oh man. Uh yeah, the kid had when earlier in the movie, actually before it did the weird cut thing, he had a pail of film. Like he had like little onesie twosie things that he'd been stealing off the floor from the projectionist, and it was in this can, and it caught fire, and I guess it burnt the house that they were living in. Mom's a little pissed off. Like, he almost killed the baby sister, which I think is the other person. When I said at the beginning was like the nurse, I think that's the sister. And he got a ride in with the projectionist because he pretended to have like a twisted foot or whatever. And anyway, uh, so now we're at that part where things have not gone exactly as planned. See, it's all burnt up. And in case you didn't know, old cellophane or whatever the stuff was made out of was explosive and caught fire, and that's why we lost a ton of films. There are uh there's like organizations like I think uh what's his name? Right, Martin Scorsese. He has like some foundation like preservation, and I absolutely agree with that. All right. Muscadine jam is delicious. So the projectionist and the kid have a little heart to heart talk um, about like why he is a projectionist and like why he chooses the job. I mean, he's like, what else am I gonna do? I've been doing it since I was a kid. It's really all I know how to do. And like the kid was like, well, why can't you teach me? He's like, you don't want to be this. You're alone all the time. You start talking to the movie characters, and when the audience laughs, sometimes it feels like you're the one that did it for them. Like you're the one who told the joke. And it's like I mean, it's a little bit more than that, but that's essentially it. And then like the kid like stops a projector, and like the guy throws him out. It's like, get out of here, and like some other dude won the lottery or something. Um, and I think the kid's dad is either in the military or was in the military and is dead. I don't know. They haven't really said anything about it, but there is the whole looming thing about war. So it's probably World War II, probably early days, I'm assuming. Um, because like the whole newsreels and whatnot. Uh, but yeah, you can tell the difference between a good movie and a great movie, and it's honesty. Honesty is the biggest part, and good movies. Sure, you can have, the best look to a movie, the funniest movie, but if there's no honesty to it, I know they're lying for money. That's not the point. The point is they're lying honestly and they believe in the part that they're doing. And that's the special spark that really clicks a good movie into a fucking great movie. This is shaping up to be a fucking great movie. Everybody in it is just doing their damnedest, and there's no pretension in it whatsoever. I did click through some of the audio tracks, and boy, the English guys did not fucking try. Sounds like they're just reading in a booth. The French, and the Italian. I mean, especially back in the '90s, it's kind of the audio isn't all that great. It doesn't line up perfectly, but it's totally fine. It works with the rest of the theme of the movie. Um, so yeah, that's where we are. And we got one guy won the lottery. He like passed out. This movie's fucking funny. All right, continuing. I got like another fucking hour of this. Also, one of the other reasons why apparently the a projectionist doesn't have a better job because he has no education. They just like it's cut to this classroom, and a bunch of people walk in, or a couple people walk in, and like, hey, these are the guys here for the grade school diploma exam, and he's one of them. And again, honesty. God damn it, this fucking movie, man. Learn you something. And cut to a montage of the kid learning how to actually do the projectionist job. Basically, the projectionist didn't know how to do the exam well, so he kind of like was like, "Hey, you scratch my back, I scratch yours," that kind of thing. It was like a Mr. Bean sketch. It was really funny. And then there's like a little montage of like how things are doing it, and now we're back to the school part, and yeah. all things are in full swing. Why did he leave? Hmm? I have no idea. No idea. Goobity bap bap. So they had like the tragic news of the father passing away. I guess he was fighting in Russia or whatever. And then go ahead and to the cinema's booming now. And well, all these people want to come in and want to see the movie, and they's like, you got to get out. We got to like do this whole thing. And so the projection is like, eh, mobs really don't have a brain, or they don't really have a mind. They have a mind of their own. They don't think for themselves or whatever he said. And so he adjusts this little mirror thing, and he shows it outside. It's really cool. So they're outside, and it's like, thanks, Alfredo. It's like magic. Because sometimes films are. And of course, you can't have a moment of happiness and a drama without it coming to a horrible conclusion. So about halfway through it, and like when they're watching it, like the projector catches fire and burns up the whole projectionist room. The old man like passes out because like it explodes in his face. And then the only person that goes back into that building is the fucking kid. The kid is a fucking hero because he drags that big dude down the was it like this like narrow spiral staircase, and he kind of gets stuck, and then it, like there's this cinematically everything burning and whatnot, and then you got the shot of the outside of the cinema Paradiso burnt down, and the only one that seems happy is the weirdo like who thinks he owns the square. I don't know. See, he's the only one who's happy. All right, it's like 2 seconds later. So like the guy that we said before, like who won the lottery, he comes back. He looks all nice and spiffy and whatnot. And they're like, "Well, where are we going to get the money for this?" And then it cuts to this. I'm not getting up any closer to do these shots, but that's like the cool like logo they had earlier, and Claire has been rebuilt. Bellissimo. So there's finally a kissing scene when the first movie they did, because like the priest didn't watch it first essentially. Um, so you don't have to see my ugly ass couch. There, you saw nothing. And then old man's still around, which is cool. I mean, he's blind, but he's a blind projectionist now. Well, he's sitting next to the kid. And then it does the thing where blind people, when they touch your face, they can see how you are and who you are and whatnot. It does that, and then it transitions to an older kid, which I know I should have been calling him Toto. I mean, it's like I forgot his name, like Salvatore or whatever I'd said earlier in the movie. I don't know. He hasn't been called that in a long time. Um, but like the old man just calls him Toto. Everybody calls him Toto, and now we're a couple, probably a decade or two later, and things are, I guess, going okay. Again, I don't know why he's left for 30 years. They still haven't got to that part. We've only gotten a flashback to present day about the time that the fire happened. And this is just right afterwards. But I mean, it's a few minutes afterwards, obviously. But it's still memories. Maybe Rosebud will turn out to be a sled. Well, that got awkward really quick. um, when I said honesty, I mean, it's honest. There's people used to do all kinds of weird shit in the theaters, and right now there's a sexy swinging movie on with a barely clothed babe, and a couple people are jerking it in the seats. This movie's, yeah, damn good movie. The usher caught him. Look, don't touch. He's like, no, I get it. It's a nice ass. So when the kid grows up, I mean, not grows up, I think he's still in high school or something. Um, he starts filming, just random things, probably becomes an auteur. I don't know. Um, but then he starts kind of like liking this girl and kind of like obsessing over her, and then like like obviously like the other boys who are his friends, yeah, they're fighting over her kind of affection at the same time. That whole thing happens. He's still hanging out with the old man, and yeah, it's moving forward pretty well. Oh yeah, and a bunch of like other people like uh, there's like some other seedy side of like the cinema that's kind of going on, like prostitution. This one dude dies during a gangster movie. Well, it's like his heart gives out or whatever. Um, it this movie's got everything. Ed, yeah. All right, so there's a whole another kind of plot line now, where there are two theaters apparently within, I guess, bicycling distance. They cut the film in half. They'll show the first part of the film somewhere, and then like book it to the like give it to the other guy and like book it like they're swapping off, and then like the guy who's doing it is just getting absolutely tired, and the crowds are getting rowdy, and but like when they're watching the movies they're totally enthralled, they're into it, there's not a dry eye in the house, and one guy's clearly seen the movie way too many times and like quotes it like I do. But so that's what's going on now. I don't I think the guy who had the money maybe into like the mob or the mafia or something, I have no idea. So continuing, I've seen the whole movie. I'll tell you what happened. Give me $5. So home is still trying to get with that girl. Um, she, he's like, I'm in love with you, and she's like, bruh. And so like he's like waiting outside for her, like Romeo and Juliet style. Um, and when he goes to talk to her at the confession booth, essentially. Sneaks in there after like you getting the projectionist old man to like call get the preacher over. He's like, or the priest over. He's like, I'm having doubts. What about the bread and the fish? That doesn't make sense. And so like they have this whole conversation, whatnot. Uh, so I don't know if he gets the girl dies. I don't know. There's still an air of mystery. I like that. I finally got a calendar date. It's 1954, and well, it's skipping to August of 1954. There was a picture of a calendar, and he's like marking it off. Apparently, that's where we are. 1954. All right, cool. The girl for real didn't give him the time of day, man. Motherfucking waited outside her window until New Year's. She never opened the window. Although it's kind of creepy, to be honest with you. Just like, I'm going to be outside your window every night until you open up and say you love me. I mean, have longer than like, hey, I think you're beautiful, conversation with a chick. I mean, even I fucking know that shit. But now there's fireworks going on, and it's, you know, getting fantastic. Here's a good shot. I'm going to show this. People are throwing shit out into the street, and it's got like this really long walk, and then he's like, there's fireworks in the background. And yes, I'm also kind of watching Quantum Leap at the same time. I'm a man of way too many passions and not enough attention span. Okay, she showed up. She was like, he's like, you know, lamenting over his loss and like not being, able to get her or whatever. And he's tearing up the calendar and fuming and whatnot. And then she comes out of from behind camera and then into frame, and then they start like making out or whatever, and like the film that he was running like starts flipping, and like the audience is going, hey, I'm like, dude, he's a little busy, all right. And now we're chopping up cactus for some reason. Like I said, these things are live. I yeah, my thoughts as they happen. Cue the love montage. So the love romance thing. He spent like a hard summer away from his girl or whatever, and then she shows up like like as like the movie's running, and then it's raining, and like they're doing an outside broadcast, kind of like a drive-in theater kind of thing, but with boats. And it starts raining, and then she shows up. They start kissing in the rain, and then it cuts to the present day dude, still with a look on his face, and then the audio says he's like, "Hey, I've been sent this notice, like I have to go into the army really soon," and she's like, "Well, I'll see you or whatever." I don't know what's happened. I mean, it's 1954. There's no real wars, I guess. I don't know. I'm not that good on this crap. Right now, he's like looking dejected out the window because he can't run the projector, see his girl, or whatnot. I mean, I get it, but why did you disappear for 30 years? It's a good question. Excusez-moi. So, homie's in the military, and the girl did not show up when he was supposed to leave. And clearly, it's haunting him because he's sending out letters. He's trying to find her. He can't. He can't. He can't find his girl. Don't know where she is. That is a lot of anchors. I guess he's returning home from the army, or maybe a stint. I don't know. They still haven't explained that part. But goes back home to his hometown, and girl still ain't there, and the old man hasn't really left the house all that much. I don't know. Maybe his wife died. They haven't explained that either. Um, they're just kind of wandering around, and the old man's giving him life advice. You know, we each have our star to follow, and sometimes that star is Tom Cruise, and he's insane. Good actor, just insane. What does he have to do with this movie? Nothing. All right, so essentially, the old man, the projectionist guy, he's he's real fucking sad right now. I don't exactly know the reason. They didn't explain that. Maybe they will. Um, he sees the kid off to the train station along with his mom and his sister, who's a lot older, and then like the priest finally runs up after he's leaving. He's like, "Hey!" Um, the old man tells him to go away and never come back. Don't write. Don't think about us. This is not the place, like, basically for progress. Like, you always think like things are never going to change, and then you come back and then they've changed drastically, but it's not what you want. It's kind of like one of those things, like you can never go home again kind of things. He's like, don't come home. This isn't for you. Like when you leave and you find something that you're good at, love it. I can respect that. There's still 20 minutes left of the movie. Let's find out how it ends. So he shows back up at home. Um, his mom greets him. Like she gets up, she's like knitting something, but like she's still like holding on to one of the needles or something, or like it gets attached to her, and then she leaves and walks all the way out downstairs and everything, and then like you see the threads unraveling. There's a lot of very good visuals when it's a movie, but it's like the old school, like very visual, like you got them callbacks, tying things together. Um, she's kept his room. It's kind of, I mean, not like a shrine, but like a good mom kind of does. And part, where you would like, you have like the sections of their life, and you've been following them and whatnot. So apparently, whatever he was doing, he's been sending back money, and his mom's living in a good place. And apparently, the projectionist is like wife is still alive. She's like, she loved you like a son, and now they're slowly walking down the street. And well, I mean, everybody loved the guy. It's Yeah, this movie's fucking good. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There we go. There's a lot of people on that road. And the Paradiso's back to being craptastic. You gone downhill, sir. He's doing a walk around the old theater, which closed down 6 years prior to the funeral, and apparently Alfredo was saying a bunch of weird shit. But apparently, the guy who was running the theater slowly turned it into like a like a porn house, like where they show exotic movies uh, with people fucking in it, those things. And then he was just, and Alfredo was like, this is messed up. I mean, yeah, it is. Going from like such prestige that it had to fall down that rabbit hole and then literally about to be turned into a parking lot. Um, that's sad, man. Also, it kind of weirdly reminds me of like The Majestic. Is that the movie I'm thinking of? Did I have Jim Carrey in it? I saw that movie like a long time ago, and I have not watched it since. I probably need to watch it. It's got Jim Carrey in it. I'll watch anything with him in it. Moving on. Is that a toilet seat? Damn it! They tore the theater down. As my grandma would say, it's turned into a merry worth. So he was a director. We get like one line out of it. There might have been more, but again, it kind of gets cut out due to the weird scratches that are on my copy. Uh, uh, Overall, this fucking movie's really good. It's a goddamn masterpiece. That movie's really good. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right now, like solid fucking. I mean, goddamn, that's 10. That's I mean, Carl, what do you think? No, Carl, that's way too low. Carl, there's no decimal point in that. I can live with that number. Um, and it honestly, like the only reason it's that low because I think there's probably a movie out there that's even better. But oh man, it's hard to find. That was really good. I mean, that might be solid 10, but like 9.75. That's high. That's I haven't really liked a movie like that hard in a long time. Like I love movies, clearly. Um, this is a movie that like people who love movies. This is up there with like Life. If you've ever seen Life, that movie like that I think Life might be a it's not a better movie, but it has a better feel to the movie cuz like you get like some resolve or whatever. There's no like direct conflict in this movie. That's kind of what brings it down just a little bit, but overall it's like a cinematic piece and it's fucking good. Like I don't know what else to say about it. It's really good. Um, and yeah, at the end he gets like the tin from the dude's wife, and it's like here, this is the last thing that he gave to you, and then he goes back home, and he sits in his own little private screening room, and it's all the kissing scenes that were cut out from the beginning with the preacher cutting them all out, and that's finally where you get like one maybe two boobs in the entire thing. Normally I would say don't put good movies inside of your own movie because it kind of brings it down. Fuck that statement when it comes to this. I mean, yeah, I mean if you're watching like oh god, uh the Escape from the Memory Bank or whatever it was, the Raul Julia movie that um they did on MST3K, and it was like showing like Casablanca or whatever, which is by far one of my favorite movies of all time. Uh, this is up there with Casablanca. This is up there. I mean, Casablanca's got like some good action scenes. This needed a few. This needed just a little bit for that, and that would have been a solid 10. Because Casablanca, that's 10. I mean, Dark Knight, that's a 10. Um, Holy shit! Like, I would stop gushing over this movie, but like, you want Cinema Paradiso. You want to have like a good. I legit was laughing my ass off at times. The characters are great. The people are alive. It's again, it's like it feels like a lived-in world, like Gangs of New York. It feels very poignant, like The Artist, which is a black and white movie made more recently. Um, I highly recommend this movie. If you like movies, this is a movie. This is a family movie in a weird way. Um, because it's got ups, it's got downs. You get attached to the characters. It's got good dialogue. It's wow. Roger and Ebert, two thumbs up. I don't know. They're both dead at this point, I think. I don't know. One of them's probably left. Who the hell cares? Leonard Maltin says this movie's good. And for once, I actually agree with the man. Go watch this movie. Thanks so much for watching. I will be back some other time. I don't know. I got to do some other things. Please enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekends or whatever you're watching this. I don't know. I'll probably post it as soon as I get done with it. Um, but yeah, Cinema Paradiso. First time watching. I'm Jake. This is my collection. Stay safe out there, guys. Wear a mask if you have to. Wear pants if you must. And I'll see you beautiful motherfuckers in the next one. Later, guys. What? Stop doing that. Did you like the movie, Carl? I love that. That was a damn good movie, boy. Thank you, Carl. You want to watch it again? No. Some other time later. All right. What do you think, kitty? You say that about everything.